Nice. My affiliate is in Fenton, Michigan.
Okay.
So if you're familiar with Michigan, it's like in the same county as Flint, but it's like,
Okay.
it's a different vibe there because it's around all the lakes and stuff. But, all right, so I'm going to like edit this thing out. I'll just really quickly do your Bridget, uh, Lindgren.
Great.
Yep. Bridget's also my mother's name. And
Oh,
you are the owner of Star Rock CrossFit, which is in Peru, Illinois, 2.5 hours outside of Chicago-ish area. The reason I hit record is this is going to provide value. The goal here is you own your building.
mhm.
Okay, one.
Correct.
You took over the gym, and then your current goals are to fix up the top of the gym, do an Airbnb with it, continue that tenant. And the tenant is, trying to cover the mortgage, if you will. So you're getting the asset. It's amazing. Someone else is paying it, and the Airbnb,
Yeah.
and you're going to try to grow the business so you can get out of your marketing job that you didn't intend on to, but now you're creating the business. So what's your first step?
Yeah.
Like a
So,
lot of things.
yeah, so 2 years ago, when the gym started growing and membership started booming, we realized from a business standpoint that we needed to increase space. And if we did it paying rent, it would be really, really hard to juggle an out plan of me exiting my career, covering the rent, the business still profiting. So we approached the building owner, and offered to purchase the building from him. And so by purchasing the building we're in, our building has a retail space in the front, like on a high traffic highway area, and behind it are 2 warehouses all attached. We were in one warehouse spot. So we purchased the building, took over the second warehouse spot, which expanded, doubled the size of the gym, and signed the current tenant there, signed a 4-year lease with him. So the tenant in the front is basically covering the mortgage for CrossFit. So we can keep expanding equipment, expanding our offerings, size, which we really needed, and continue to make the business financially sound for me to eventually exit my marketing job. So the second story of that building is unfinished. And so right now we have a contractor there now that's starting doors and windows and stuff like that, to do an Airbnb. Yeah, that will provide additional income and allow me, once it gets complete, to exit marketing and full-time CrossFit.
Okay, so and there's so much here I love. I want to ask you a couple questions and then discuss a couple points on that. First question is, on a scale of 1 to 10, 1 being I've played Monopoly and that's how much I know about real estate, and 10 being, I have 300 million net worth paid off cash flow properties. Where do you find yourself in terms of like a real estate investor?
5 or 6.
Okay. So you're kind of, you give yourself there. So
Yeah.
And that is self-research, right? It's not like you are a realtor or you just kind of learned this stuff while you were in your spare time. Okay.
I, being in marketing, I work numbers all the time. So I worked the numbers of it. It was super easy to calculate what the taxes would be. Nothing switched from one ownership to the other. I knew what I wanted for rent from the tenant, so it wasn't difficult. Now I will tell you this, that it is a real estate LLC we started that owns the building. And that's for tax purposes, but we consulted with an accountant and an attorney, and they told us how to set that up so that everything was
we are
the best for us.
In no way, just because you do your level 1, are you a tax expert or a legal law real estate expert. Okay, so let's enter into Star Rock CrossFit. It sounds like obviously you know your stuff. You're a marketing director at automotive company, and so we need the income. You and I were talking off camera. I feel like you and I probably are similar because I do some things like you do, but with my affiliate, the number one thing I look at is my life first. What do I feel my affiliate, of how much effort and et cetera I put into it, does it deserve to pay me? And then do I want to have a full-time job where I'm driving a nice car. It's my only thing in the world. Like I do nothing else. Um, I have full-time coaches. I provide careers, all of these things. And then there's the middle. It can be a hobby, just something you love, CrossFit. You can get by, and it can be in the middle. It can be a supplemental. In no way do we arrive on one of those things, but normally all of us are somewhere in the middle-ish of one of those. So it's like you're in the middle of, you still have a job, but you're sniffing that you might not have to have that soon.
I'm trying to set it up so that I have an out strategy so that I started this as a hobby. And realized it can be a lot more. I just had to go at it strategically and really smart. And so I started it as a hobby and then had to turn the business hat on. And so that transition happened about 1.5 years ago. And that's what we've been working towards with. We have to expand, we purchased the building. You know what I mean? Now we're providing additional supplemental income with that Air BNB, which will help alleviate a lot of financial stress actually on CrossFit, which was what and by doing that, then the salary that I can draw from it is a lot greater. And that's the goal, So yeah, absolutely. It turned into, no, I'm going to do this full time. And how do I get there? And then my husband and I just had to kind of strategize.
So did you guys go, because we're about to enter your business model inside of the gym, and you and I could probably talk for hours, so I'll make sure to like not do that. So is it more or less you guys are looking and like, hey, I want this full time. Are we going to reduce our lifestyle? Or I want this full time. We need to increase our income inside of the gym. Which one are you and your husband more on?
No, I'm not reducing my lifestyle at all.
Okay.
I'm looking to do a lateral move from the income I'm currently getting from my marketing job and making the same that I'm doing, living a really comfortable, nice lifestyle with CrossFit. So that's why we're really kind of trying not to just jump or rush it, but strategically play it out.
Okay. So now let's enter Rock CrossFit. So when you took it over, do you remember the revenue that was coming in?
Well, I would have not made a penny. I wouldn't have paid for coaching.
Got it. Okay. So it was net negative almost.
Yeah. Okay, it just covered the bills. It didn't cover coaches. There were no level 1 coaches there. So that was a challenge as well, making sure that everybody goes through training, that we continue to train, that we continue to coach ourselves and improve ourselves. So there was a lot that we had to change in the beginning.
Okay. So you're a level 2, you're going to go for your level 3. So you don't have to share financials now, but what I want to know about is, what was the biggest change then? So you took over an affiliate that basically was barely paying the bills.
Yeah.
Did you just up the prices? Did you cut classes? Like, what did you do to then now? Go ahead.
Increased classes.
Increased the class amount?
Increased the amount of classes that were available. There were no AM classes, for example, and honestly, those are my best attended.
Wait, no AM classes, period?
Right.
Okay, yeah.
So, and then we also incorporated some other types of classes, range of motion stretching classes, for example. We have a yoga class, a recovery class. We tried to really help people with that full spectrum. I got my precision nutrition level 1 coach so that I can focus on the nutrition end. We tried to take it back to the basics of the CrossFit pyramid, right? Start with nutrition, promote the fundamentals, promote all the weightlifting, the Metcon, and try to kind of the gymnastics and go back to the basics and help our members be well-rounded individuals. And so by doing that, though, they saw great results, and then they start telling friends, and then it's a social media thing and people want to try it. The other thing we do is we do a 1 week for free. You can come try classes for a week. And I don't limit it to 2. And sometimes I'm even kind of bend on that 1 week, depending on if you come on a Friday, for example, you know what I mean? Because it took the intimidation factor down for customers.
Without a doubt. Some people, there's a lot of, first of all, so it sounds like what you did was you just cared more And then when
Yeah.
people started seeing like, oh, Bridget's going to add more classes, provide more value, give more things. Like just because someone listening to this doesn't mean they don't need to go home and be like, I'm doing a mobility class in my gym. Like it
Oh,
might
yeah.
not work for you, but it worked for you and people saw you caring. And I personally, I'm not allowed to, I'm not allowed, I can do whatever the hell I want, but I can't give it, I can give free advice that you could kind of take or use or whatever. I do the same thing with the 7-day free trial. I hell, if you need a 10-day free trial, I don't care because when you get inside of my gym, I want to keep you for 7, 8, 9, 10 years. It's so 10 days.
You gotta look at the long-term plan, not like that short. And the other part is it's constantly varied. You may try one of those days and hate an overhead squat, for example, right? But you may love everything else. So then it kind of gives you a taste of what it's actually like to be a member. You know, it's always changing. And just because you're not good at something, you don't like something, doesn't mean you're going to do that every day. And it kind of tells you what you got to work on. So that honestly, to get new members when we started, that was the biggest thing. It was a really low key, casual, try a whole week for free. You know, they'll be like, can I try 5 days? Sure. You know, like I'm not going to pound you on it. Just try it. And if you like it, great. Become part of our community. If it's not for you, that's okay too. You know, so that casual approach, I think, helped lower the intimidation level to try.
Okay. I would have to imagine without even asking, providing all that additional value, tell me that you increase the prices.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
And we're approaching another price increase. I don't do it every year. But every 2 years. Yeah.
Yeah. There's a lot of different ways. Price increases, like we could have a whole separate talk
it's
on
hard.
it.
It's probably harder on me, and I don't even think the members even realize it.
It's harder on you. You could always do 3% a year.
Yeah.
Without people would barely notice that. You just put it in their contract. Or at the end of the day, I tell people like there's so many different CrossFit affiliate, like the value that we're working on and provide with the affiliate, I will stand by is so much value. If it's just that ticket, that one affiliation fee that you have to pay a year, A, you're not using some of the tools and resources, but B, remember, more people do CrossFit than most any other fitness thing. Even if you don't believe me, you can go call Google and just ask them, and you will see that. That being said, doesn't mean we get to rest on our laurels. We need to constantly be thinking about better ways to, give to the affiliate owner, which is me, which is you. So one thing that
like I've been toying with, and I watched on the YouTube channel, the Hybrid AF.
Oh, huge fan.
And so, we're getting to a point. We expanded. Now we have the size, we have additional equipment. It's things like that I think will also help us increase membership fees.
Yeah. And remember, with that
easy add-on.
Easy add-on, but also it's more value. I talked to a 13-year affiliate owner yesterday. And how he lists his prices are like every little thing that you get. And when you start reading through all of it, 24-hour access, unlimited, in-body scans, this and that. And all of a sudden you're like, well, of course I'd pay for that. And then if you want to downgrade, here's the next thing. Or, if you want to get the lowest possible membership, then you're going to get the lowest possible stuff. Otherwise you increase up to here. So it's like a sliding scale really of what you get.
Yeah. It's a fun business.
It is. It's free. It's a free business. Like, I don't mean free literally like money wise. I mean freedom. If you're a franchise, first of all, it costs a lot of money. That's thing number one. Thing
and
number
a lot
two,
of rules.
The rules are one thing, but also if you don't follow those rules, you can get sued. That's what a lot of people forget. If I owned a Subway or something of that nature, and I just decided to say, screw it, I'm painting the walls purple instead of their colors like green and yellow, and just do anything that I wanted to do, I would get in trouble. And they know because I had to prove in liquid, sometimes illiquid assets that I have enough money that if they wanted to sue me, that I'm worth it even. Yeah. So I think that's one thing too, that people You understand. We'll kind of end the call just because it's been a few. We'll end at least the recorded part.
Yeah.
So, I mean, this is cool. I'll start doing this. If you are randomly watching this in the Peru, Illinois area, and you want to know more, go ahead and go to Starve Rock CrossFit. Their colors are orange and black. I like that.
Orange and black, bold, right?
Bold, yeah. Looks like you got a lot of rowers, and yeah, I look forward. I hope that we could even do this in a year and see how like Airbnb, if you had more tenants, and how the mortgage pay down of your thing is going of
Yeah.
the building.
I'm hoping to tie it in. You know, we get a lot of drop-ins that are here for a week or a month at a time.